Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnanatimirandasya Gnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharini. Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gauravaktarunda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, continuing teachings of Queen Kunti, chapter 14. We're talking about the Damodar Lila. This pastime presents another opulence of Krishna, his opulence of beauty. Krishna has 6 opulences: all wealth, all strength, all influence, all knowledge, all renunciation, and all beauty. The nature of Krishna is that he is greater than the greatest and smaller than the smallest. Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan. We offer obeisances to Krishna with awe and veneration. But no one comes to Krishna with a rope, saying, Krishna, you have committed an offense, and now I shall bind you. Yet that is the prerogative of the most perfect devotee. Krishna wants to be approached in that way. So we discussed this. So awe and veneration, awe and reverence. That's how we approach Krishna. Oh Krishna, you are great. I'm small. You are the Swami. I'm the Sevak. You have to protect me. But here, Mother Yashoda is thinking, I have to protect him. Yashoda is thinking, I have to protect him. I have to protect him. I have to teach him. Otherwise, he's going to get spoiled. He's becoming a big thief. He's stealing from everybody's house. This is not good for him. And the Supreme Lord, who is establishing principles of Dharma for everybody, for his whole creation, he is being taught by his mother. And how? By binding him. So this is so inconceivable, unimaginable. This is the perfect, pure devotee. Prabhupada is saying most perfect devotee. Most perfect. Not just perfect, most perfect devotee. This is the prerogative. Prerogative, like, prerogative means what? Right? What is the dictionary meaning? Yeah, privilege, right. This is the privilege, right? Prerogative of the most perfect devotee. And Krishna wants to be approached in that way. Krishna wants to be approached in that way, but who can approach him in that way? Only the most perfect devotee. Just because Prabhupada is saying Krishna wants to be approached in that way doesn't mean that everybody starts behaving like that. Krishna wants to be approached in that way, absolutely. But that is the prerogative of the most perfect devotee. So when we reach this stage of being the most perfect devotee, we will approach Krishna in that way. And that is the only way we can approach Krishna, actually. There is no other way. Of course, if one worships Krishna in awe and reverence, they'll go to Dwaraka. They'll not come to Vrindavan. They'll not go to Vaikuntha. They'll not go to Vishnu, Narayana. They'll go to Krishna, but they'll go to Dwaraka Krishna. But one who comes with a rope in his hand, he will come to Goloka Vrindavan. So this is the beauty of Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan. This cannot be done anywhere else. Who can bind the Supreme Lord? Where can he bound? We've not heard of anything else like this anywhere else. But it's only possible with Krishna in Goloka Vrindavan. Because the mood of the devotees in Goloka Vrindavan is that Krishna is not the Supreme Lord. Or they don't really give it much importance. You know, here and there they keep hearing passing thoughts statements. That's all, but nothing more than that. They're not giving it too much importance. And they even forget it by Leela Shakti. They even just forget it. Oh, no, no, he is my son. He is my friend. He's our Lala. And Krishna wants to be approached in that way. So we have to understand that, but Krishna wants to be approached in that way. That means that we should endeavor to approach Krishna in that way. And for us to endeavor to approach Krishna in that way, we have to become the most perfect devotee. For us to become the most perfect devotee, we have to do the most perfect sadhana. If you don't do the most perfect sadhana, how can you become the most perfect devotee? And it all boils down to Tivra Bhakti, Anya Vilashita Shunya Bhakti. So the foundation that we keep talking about again and again is what is absolutely required for us to reach this. And there's nothing else we need to do. Actually, devotees think that, oh, after some years, something new will happen. Nothing new will happen. No new process. New will happen, meaning, yeah, in terms of experience, we'll be experiencing new things, but process is the same. Process is the same. We'll just go deeper and deeper and deeper in whatever we are doing. That's all. But please remember this, Krishna wants to be approached in that way. The beauty of Prabhupada's statement, that is why, one statement like this, see how loaded it is. Krishna wants. This is what Krishna wants. And we are here to please Krishna. So if Krishna wants it that way, then we have to try and do it that way. For which we have to become a most perfect devotee. That's all. So our motivation to become a most perfect devotee is very clear here in Prabhupada's statement. So simple. And now what we need to do? Getting no confusion, no philosophical confusion. Just now next question is, how do I become the most perfect devotee? And that's all. That is the path of sadhana bhakti. Thinking of Krishna's opulence, Kunti Devi did not dare take the part of Yashoda. For although Kunti Devi was Krishna's aunt, she did not have the privilege to approach Krishna the way he was approached by Yashoda Mai. He was such an advanced devotee that she had the right to chastise the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is a privilege. This is not going to be there for everybody. Everybody cannot become this, cannot get this privilege. This privilege only comes given to the most perfect devotee. Most perfect devotee. Kunti Devi is the perfect devotee, but she's not the most perfect devotee because she's still looking at Krishna's opulence. She's still in awe and reverence. But Yashoda Mata has crossed that. So she is the most perfect devotee. Devotee, perfect devotee, more perfect devotee, most perfect devotee. And we have to get here. We have to get here. Just mark these words in your conscience. Most perfect devotee. And it's a privilege. It's a privilege. It's not simply like, it's not cheap. It's not available for everybody. It's a privilege. That was Yashoda, my special prerogative. So nicely Prabhupada explains. Each and every word is so impactful. Kunti Devi was simply thinking of how fortunate was Yashoda Mai that she could threaten the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is feared even by fear personified. Bhirapiyat bhibeti. Who is not afraid of Krishna? But Krishna is afraid of Yashoda Mai. This is the super excellence of Krishna. To give another example of such opulence, Krishna is known as Madana Mohana. Madana means Cupid. Cupid enchants everyone. But Krishna is known as Madana Mohana because he is so beautiful that he enchants even Cupid. Nonetheless, Krishna himself is enchanted by Srimati Radharani. See, Prabhupada is so respectful when he takes Radharani's name. Always, he says Srimati Radharani. And we think that we are more dear to Radharani than Prabhupada, and we keep calling out Radhe, Radhe. We should understand. I mean, this is the mood of, this is our mood saying, oh, I'm so fallen. How can he even take Radharani's name so, like, casually? Somebody who is in so much love with Radharani can maybe call her that way. Anyway. And therefore, Srimati Radharani is known as Madana Mohana Mohini, the enchanter of Cupid. Krishna is the enchanter of Cupid, Radharani is the enchanter of that enchanter. This is the beauty of Krishna, and this is the beauty of Srimati Radharani. Just imagine. I mean, we can't imagine. You can just, yeah, logically just understand. Oh, okay, okay. So how beautiful Srimati Radharani must be. It's just unimaginable beauty, right? Because it enchants even Krishna, who enchants Cupid, who enchants the whole world. And he's enchanted by Srimati Radharani. That is why the beauty of just descriptions of the beauty of Krishna, yes, we find it in few of our literatures. But as we make more progress, as we make more advancement, and what is this advancement? As we become more detached from material things, as we become more fixed in the fact that I'm not this body, I'm spirit, soul, then we can get to hear about all these beautiful descriptions about, beauty of uh, Krishna more in more detail, beauty of Srimati Radharani. Then we can understand. And beauty is not just like appearance. Beauty is in their qualities. Beauty is in the way they deal with their devotees, their associates. Everything is beautiful. Mm. Everything is beautiful. Everything is sweet. Madhuradipate, Akilam Madhuram Krishna. And Srimati Radharani excels him, such a way that he himself is enchanted by her. These are very exalted spiritual understandings in Krishna consciousness. They are not fictional, imaginary, and concocted. They are facts. And every devotee can have the privilege to understand and indeed take part in Krishna's pastimes if he is actually advanced. We should not think that the privilege given to Mother Yashoda is not available to us. Everyone can have a similar privilege. If one loves Krishna as one's child, then one will have such a privilege because the mother has the most love for the child. Even in this material world, there is no comparison to a mother's love. For a mother loves her child without any expectation of return. Of course, although that is generally true, material world is so polluted that a mother sometimes thinks, my child will grow up and become a man, and when he earns money, I shall get it. That there is still some desire to get something in exchange. But while loving Krishna, there are no selfish feelings, for that love is unalloyed, free from all material gain, anyabhilashita shunyam. We should not love Krishna for some material gain. It is not that we should say, Krishna, give us our daily bread, then I shall love you. Krishna, give me this or that, then I shall love you. There should be no such mercantile exchanges for Krishna wants unalloyed love. See, this also we should. Yeah, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu says that sometimes the devotee, in unavoidable circumstances, he might pray to Krishna. For example, actually, his example was given. Uh, Saying that, say, suppose we are outside and we feel like, you know uh, nature's call, we can pray to Krishna saying that, oh, it's not possible now, please help me. But that doesn't mean that it is some material gain. It's just an emergency. Rare occurrences, happens to everybody. But pure devotee never asks anything for his material gain, not material gain. Even if, for example, if Prabhupada told his devotees, when he was unwell, saying that you pray that if Krishna willing, let me regain my health and serve him. That's all. Not for any material gain. If Krishna desires, let me get back my health. Let me be able to do my services again. That's all. So pure devotees never ask anything for themselves. And Krishna wants such unalloyed love. And when Krishna sees such unalloyed love in a devotee, he will automatically bestow his mercy. Because he knows this devotee is not going to, go crazy. I mean, he is not going to misuse the mercy. When Krishna saw Mother Yashoda coming with a rope to bind him, he immediately became very much afraid, thinking, oh, mother is going to bind me. He began to cry, and the tears washed the mascara from his eyes. See, just look at this position. I mean, can we even imagine? Mother is going to bind me, he's afraid. He began to cry, tears washed the mascara from his eyes. And Krishna is not like just, he's not doing some drama here. He literally was frightened. began to cry, and tears washed the mascara from his eyes, looking at his mother with great respect. And now, till now, he was like, frivolously running around doing all kinds of mischief. He was angry. Oh, my mother left me and went to take care of the milk in the kitchen. So he became angry. He broke the pots. He stole pots and distributing all that he did. Now he is like looking at his mother with great respect. He appealed to her with feeling, yes, mother, I offended you. Kindly excuse me. Hmm. Then he immediately bowed his head in shame and fear. He bowed his head. Kunti Devi appreciated this scene, for this was another of Krishna's perfections. Although he is the supreme personality of Godhead, he puts himself under the control of Yashoda. Control, see, begging for forgiveness, putting head down. Who will do this? One who is under the control of another person does it. He who controls everything is under the control of Mother Yashoda. Such a glorious position of Mother Yashoda. Hmm. In Bhagavad Gita 7.7, the Lord says, Mattaparataram nanyat kintidasti dhananjaya. My dear Arjuna, there is no one superior to me. Yet that Supreme Person of Godhead, to whom no one is superior, bows down to Mother Yashoda, accepting, my dear mother, yes, I am an offender. Can there be any sweeter pastime than this? This is Madhura. Krishna is just happy to give up his position of the Supreme Person. When Mother Yashoda saw that Krishna had become too much afraid, he is crying like profusely, she also became disturbed. See, Mother Yashoda, like I said, is not like out there to take revenge against the child. He just wanted to teach him a lesson. But when she saw that her actions had made her child very afraid, too much afraid, she also became disturbed. She did not actually want Krishna to suffer by her punishment. That was not her purpose. But it is a system still current in India that when a child creates too much of a disturbance, his mother may bind him in one place. This is a very common system. So Mother Yashoda adopted it. So Prabhupada is saying it's not like some vengeance, it's not like some enmity. So it's just a simple, normal practice in Indian households, and Mother Yashoda adopted it. He didn't think so too much about saying that, which method of punishment should I use. He said, yeah, everybody binds their children, I'll also bind. That's all. This scene is very much appreciated by pure devotees, for it shows how much greatness there is in the Supreme Person who plays exactly like a perfect child. When Krishna plays like a child, he plays perfectly. When he plays as the husband of 16,000 wives, he plays perfectly. When he plays as the lover of the gopis, he plays perfectly. As a friend of the cowherd boys, he also plays perfectly. Play means like pastime, but it's not like some artificial, like drama play. He actually is in that mood. He's accepted that mood. He's happy to be in that mood. And he forgets himself, his own position otherwise, and he just thinks that, yeah, I'm this helpless child of this mother. Like that, he's just very genuinely gets into that mood, feeling. The cowherd boys all depend on Krishna. Once they wanted to take fruit from a forest of palm trees. Hmm. But there was a demon named Gardabhasura, uh, who would not allow anyone to enter that forest. Gardabhasura, Dhenukasura, Talavan. Therefore, Krishna's cowherd friends said to Krishna, Krishna, we want to taste that fruit if you can arrange for it. Of course, they asked because they wanted to offer those fruits actually to Krishna and Balaram. But their intention was if you ask this way, they'll oblige. If we say, actually, they are saying that, can you get it for us? We want to taste the fruit. Krishna immediately said yes, because Krishna doesn't, is happy to do anything for his devotee. So he immediately said yes. And he and Balaram went to the forest where the demon was living with other demons who had all taken the shape of asses. When the ass demons came to kick Krishna and Balaram with their hind legs, Balaram caught one of them and threw him into the top of a tree, and the demon died. That's all these demons. Hmm. What can these demons do to Krishna and Balaram? Then Krishna and Balaram killed the other demons in the same way. Thus, their cowherd friends were very much obliged to them. Hmm. So, this place is even there today. We can go to Thalavan. There are two Thal trees still remaining. But it was a forest before with so many trees. Nothing is left now. There's something called a Sankarshan Kund. Balaram, after this pastime, actually all the coward boys were thirsty. They wanted water. There's no water there. So he created a kunda there. He got all these waters from the, you know, higher planets, I think. And he created that kunda. On another occasion, the coward boys were surrounded by fire. Not knowing anyone else but Krishna, they immediately called for him, and Krishna was ready. Yes, see, this is Prabhupada, he's just putting us in that right mood. See, this is how we have to surrender to Krishna. When, yes, sometimes, things happen and we don't know anybody else. We just call out, oh, Krishna. Krishna says, yes, I'm here. Don't worry. Yes, see, like Prabhupada said, yes, I'm here. Yes, Krishna immediately swallowed the whole fire. There are many demons that attack the boys, and every day the boys would return to their mothers and say, Mother, Krishna is so wonderful, and would explain what had happened that day. So they're happy. Krishna is so powerful. Krishna is so wonderful. We have nothing to fear. And they come and they glorify Krishna in front of their mothers and to everybody else. And the mothers would say, yes, our Krishna. See, our Krishna is wonderful. We also have to think saying that when will that day come when we'll also feel, oh, our Krishna, my Krishna. This is our goal. That's all. Nothing else. Simply today we are still in some business relationship with Krishna. Stop that business relationship. Start a relationship of love. And eventually come to feel Krishna is mine. Not egoistically, but that natural just feeling of love. Yes, is my Krishna. And it's not that we go out, in front telling everybody, yes, he's my Krishna, my Krishna. No. It's just that feeling that when we think about somebody as ours, then we will do everything. We are ready to do anything for them. We are ready to give up anything for them. That is my Krishna. They did not know that Krishna is God, the Supreme Person. They only knew that Krishna is wonderful. That's all. There's one chapter, Wonderful Krishna. Prabhupada used this word so nicely. Wonderful. And the more they perceived Krishna's wonderful activities, the more their love increased. See, so easy. How do we increase love for Krishna? Just more. Of course, they perceived, they were present there, but we can simply hear and thereby be present in those pastimes. So the more we hear about Krishna, the more our love will increase. It's such a simple process. And they thought, perhaps he may be a demigod. They thought, when Nanda Maharaj, Krishna's father, talked among his friends, the friends would talk about Krishna and say, oh, Nanda Maharaj, your child Krishna is wonderful. And Nanda Maharaj would respond, yes, I see that. Maybe he's some demigod. Even that was not certain. Maybe. Well, Garga Muni had come and told Nanda Maharaj, saying that he's equal to, or he's as good as Narayana. There's still a lot of confusion. Yoga Maya is like creating all kinds of confusions. They're all also not clear. Thus, the inhabitants of Vrindavan do not care who is God and who is not. They love Krishna. That's all. Those who think of first analyzing Krishna to determine whether he is God are not first-class devotees. Prabhupada is saying, yes, but we are not first-class devotees. So first we have to analyze and ascertain that, yes, Krishna is the Supreme Lord. Then we'll surrender to him. But we are not first-class devotees. First-class devotees are those who have spontaneous love for Krishna. We have to become first-class. Now we are third-class. Third-class means Kanishta Adhikari. Then we have to move to second-class, Madhyama Adhikari. Then first-class. When we reach the Uttama Adhikari stage, then spontaneous love for Krishna. How can we analyze Krishna? Okay, we want to analyze, but how will we analyze Krishna? He is unlimited. Therefore, it is impossible. We have limited perception and our senses have limited potency. Now, how can we study Krishna? It is not possible at all. Krishna reveals himself to a certain extent, and that much is sufficient. So Prabhupada is saying, don't go in some, infinite loop. Don't keep going about, I want to understand more, more, more. Till then, I'm not going to surrender to Krishna. I think that is not possible. He's infinite. So, to whatever extent Krishna has revealed himself to us, that is enough. That is sufficient. Just surrender to him. He is the Supreme Lord. We should not be like the Mayavadi philosophers who try to find God by speculative deduction. Neti, neti, not this, not this. They say God is not this, God is not that. But what God is, they do not know. Materialistic scientists also try to find the ultimate cause, but their process is the same. Not this, not that. As much as they advance, they will also find not this, not that. But what the ultimate cause is, they will never find. That is not possible. What to speak of finding Krishna? Materialistic scientists cannot properly understand even material objects. They're trying to go to the moon, but actually they do not know what it is. If they understand what the moon is, why do they come back here? If they knew perfectly what the moon is, they would have resided there by now. They have been trying for the last 20 years to go there and stay, but they're simply seeing, not this, not that. There are no living entities. There is no possibility of our living here. Thus, they can report on what is not on the moon, but do they know what is there? No, they do not know. This is only one planet for or one star. According to Vedic literature, the moon is regarded as a star. Scientists say that the stars are all suns, but according to Bhagavad Gita, stars are the same nature as the moon. So Prabhupada is just beating down scientists. Bhagavad Gita Lord says, Nakshatram aham shashi, nakshatranam aham shashi. Oh, of stars I am the moon. Thus the moon is just like the many stars. What is the nature of the moon? It is bright because it reflects light from the sun. Therefore, although the scientists say that the stars are many suns, we do not agree. According to Vedic calculation, there are innumerable suns, but in every universe, there's only one. Innumerable suns, but in every universe, there's only one sun. And moon is a star which reflects the light of the sun. This is Vedic understanding. What we see in this universe, we are seeing imperfectly, and our knowledge is not perfect. We cannot count how many stars or planets there are. And Pluto was a planet, now it ceases to be a planet. That's all our knowledge is. We cannot fully understand the material things existing all around us, and therefore, how can we understand the Supreme Lord who created this universe? That is not possible. Therefore, in the Brahma Samhita, it is said, Pantastu kotisha tatsara sampragamyo vayo rathapi manaso munipungavaanam topyasti yat prapadasimna vichinta tatve govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Space is unlimited, and the Brahma Samhita suggests, suppose one travels by spacecraft for millions of years at the velocity of the wind or even the speed of mind. Everyone knows that the mind is so swift that in 1/10,000th of a second it can take us millions of miles. If you have seen something millions of miles away, the mind can go there immediately. But even if we can travel at the speed of on a spacecraft manufactured by Muni Pungavanam, the greatest scientists, the most thoughtful men, will that be perfection? No. Brahma Samhita says, Sopyasti yat prapada simnya vichinta tatve. Till this creation will remain inconceivable to our understanding. And Krishna has created all these things. And how can we study Krishna? If we cannot understand the things created, Krishna has created, how can we understand Krishna? It is not possible at all. Therefore, the mentality of Vrindavan is the perfect status of mind for devotees. So Prabhupada is explaining all this. Logic will not help. So, mentality of Vrindavan is a perfect status. Inhabitants of Vrindavan have no concern with understanding Krishna. Rather, they want to love Krishna unconditionally. Of course, this doesn't mean that we don't try to understand Krishna at all, because we should not be sentimentally, situated. Because then some difficult situation happens, we'll just give up. Yeah, our definition of love means, whatever I want, Krishna will give. That is not love. That is still business. So we cannot be sentimentally, on the sentimental platform. We have to be on the philosophical platform, tattvic platform. It's okay for those devotees who just who've been devotees for many lives, and they spontaneously are attracted to Krishna. They don't ask anything from Krishna. Very exalted souls. But for most of us, we have to try and understand Krishna to whatever extent he reveals us to us, and be fixed in the fact that he is the Supreme Lord, and be fixed in our Sambandha Gyan. I am his servant, and serve him initially. Then we will slowly make progress to higher and higher rasas. It is not that they think Krishna is God and therefore I love him. In Vrindavana, Krishna does not play as God. He plays there as an ordinary cowherd boy. And all the times he proves that he is the Supreme Person of Godhead. Devotees there do not care to know it. Kunti Devi, however, was not an inhabitant of Vrindavan. She was an inhabitant of Hastinapur, which is outside Vrindavan. Devotees outside Vrindavan study how great the inhabitants of Vrindavan are. But the inhabitants of Vrindavan don't care how great Krishna is. That is the difference between them. So, who is born in Vrindavan is most exalted soul. Even in Bhauma Vrindavan, those devotees who are born there, however, they might look to our material eyes. Our material eyes are anyway already contaminated. We look at them with our material eyes, material vision. But they are so great, and they don't even know how great Krishna is. They don't care to know. I mean, they're like not interested. That is the difference between them. So our concern should be simply to love Krishna. The more we love Krishna, the more we shall become perfect. Again, I'm repeating this. Love doesn't mean on the sentimental platform. It is a pure platform. Sentimental means it is a mental platform. Pure love is on the spiritual platform. Right? There's a big difference. Sentimental platform can break down anytime because it's just some emotions, material emotions. But spiritual love is based on understanding, is based on clarity of our sambandha with Krishna, Krishna's supreme position, and it is the perfect platform of love. It is not necessary to understand Krishna and how he creates. It is not necessary, but Krishna explains himself in Bhagavad Gita, and we should not try to understand much more. Meaning, we don't go about, of course, we'll read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, try to understand Krishna, how he has created, etc. But we don't go into thesis. We don't go into Sankhya philosophy of, atheistic Sankhya, like the science and, creation and speculate about it. No, that's not required. We should not bother very much to know Krishna. That is not possible. We should simply increase our unalloyed love for Krishna. That is perfection of life. Well, Prabhupada is saying is this is just to discourage those people who go in some, crazy hunt for knowledge and they end up in Mayavad. Wherever anybody goes in search of knowledge, gives up bhakti, he'll end up in Mayavad. So Prabhupada is saying all that is not required. We have to know Krishna. Why we have to know Krishna? So that we can increase love for Krishna. That's all our goal is. Right? We are hearing about Krishna also to increase our unalloyed love, pure love for Krishna. That is the perfection of life. Such a beautiful purport. Just, inspires bhakti. So I'll stop here. If anybody has any questions, you can comment. Feel free. No comments? Okay. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaura Bhaktal ki jai, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhavacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Koti Vaishnava ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhupada.